Hey guys, welcome back to the third episode of our series on emotional intelligence. My name is Aruba Kabir. I'm an emotional and mental health professional, a counseling psychologist, trauma-informed therapist, and founder of Enso Wellness. Well, in the first episode, we talked about what emotional intelligence actually means and why is it so hard in our Indian culture. And the second episode, we talked about how emotional intelligence looks like in romantic relationships. But today's episode is something really special and really important because we are talking about how emotional intelligence looks like with your parents. Now, I really want to be very upfront with you. If this conversation makes you uncomfortable, triggers you, gets you defensive, or gets you emotionally tight, that doesn't mean this conversation is wrong. It only means it is touching something real. So many people ask me, why does our parents trigger us the most? Well, there is a reason that why our fights with our parents do not feel like normal fights. That is because your parents are not just people in your life. They are your first emotional authority figures. They taught your nervous system what safety feels like, what love feels like, what criticism feels like, what rejection feels like. So when your parent criticizes you at 22, 28, 35, 45, 55, your body does not respond as an adult. It responds like that child who once needed their approval for survival. And here is the uncomfortable truth. If your parent can still destabilize you in your adulthood, it is not because you are weak. It is because their voice still lives inside of you, in your head. You must have heard about attachment styles. We therapists talk a lot about it. I want to tell you that our attachment styles do not happen or are formed in our adulthood or in our romantic relationships. They begin at home in our childhood. If love was warm, consistent, safe, you must be having a secure attachment style. But if love came with unpredictability, inconsistency, a lot of fear, then you may be an anxious person. And if love was dismissed or mocked, then an avoidant attachment style. But here is the secret. Indian households or South Asian households are very confusing. The parents are very confusing because they mixed love with control. So the child learns, I am loved only if I behave well. And here is the line people don't like hearing. If love had conditions in your childhood, you will spend adulthood either chasing love or avoiding love. Well, there is something people make a lot of fun of. Mommy issues and daddy issues. Well, psychologically, it is a real thing. We psychologists only address it as mother wound or a father wound. Let's talk about this because it's really important in this conversation. If you are someone who has a mother wound, this is how it will show up. Feeling responsible for others, struggling to receive care, feeling guilty for choosing yourself, confusing love with emotional labor. And if you are someone with father wounds, then you might always be seeking validation from an authority figure or someone who struggles with self-worth. Or there is always a fear of disappointing others. Or there is difficulty in trusting or feeling protected. I am not telling you these wounds are something you should be blaming your parent for. They are just about what was missing in your younger years, not what was malicious. So when we have these wounds inside of us, we subconsciously, unconsciously attract emotionally unavailable partners. So when we carry parental wounds in our adulthood, it does impact our romantic relationships, professional life, and our friendships. We look for partners to regulate us. We look for bosses to give us approval. And we keep chasing success finally to make us feel enough. Now, as we already talked about our first safety blanket, the attachment styles, the mother wounds, father wounds, the important thing comes, but Aruba, how does these parental wounds show up in my romantic life? And why do they do that? Now listen, if you grew up as someone who needed to manage the parents' emotions, you may overgive in relationships, attract emotionally unavailable partners, stay too long in an unhealthy dynamic. If you felt love was conditional at home, you may tie your self-worth to achievements, overwork, struggle to rest without guilt, or fear authority yet crave approval. And this is why some people feel more anxious with their boss than their partner, or some feel more triggered by their parent than a breakup. Because the original wound was never relationally repaired. And then, as an adult, I also have difficulty connecting with my parents. And that is where it becomes really important, especially in our culture. And then it also impacts my parenting, not just with my parents, but my relationship with my children. Because if we do not heal these wounds, we just pass them on. Anxious parents raise anxious children. Avoidant parents raise avoidant children. Over-controlling parents raise children who either rebel or disappear. Not because you are a bad parent, but you are defined by your own wounds. Healing would not mean that you become a perfect parent, but it surely means you become a regulated one. One who can say, I am triggered, but it is not because of my child. I am scared, but I will not control them. I didn't receive this kind of safety, but I will still provide it to my children. People ask me that, does emotional intelligence means that I cut off from my parents because they have been toxic, unhealthy, unavailable? Well, my friend, emotional intelligence would not mean cutting them off, confronting constantly, or tolerating harm silently. It would mean understanding what belongs to you and what does not. Loving without losing yourself. Setting boundaries without cruelty. Seeing your parents as wounded humans, not gods, not villains. It is the hardest emotional work there is. Because you are not just healing a relationship, you are healing your origin story. Now, if this video made you uncomfortable, pause, breathe. You're not broken for struggling with your parents. You're responding to the most powerful emotional bond of your life. Learning emotional intelligence here changes the way you love, the way you work, the way you are being in a relationship, or as a parent, as a friend. And that is awareness. Listen, you are not disloyal for seeing patterns. You are not ungrateful for wanting emotional safety. You are not broken for struggling with your parents. But as an adult, a lot is in your control. If you work on yourself, you can heal these wounds and you can be that better partner, better friend, better child, and a better human being. That is it as of now on this topic. In the next episode, we're going to talk about what emotional intelligence looks like at your workplace. A lot of professionals are asking me for that, where the same wounds play out in the form of hierarchy and authority. Share this with someone who needs it. Save it for yourself and subscribe to this channel. And remember, healing your relationship with your parent changes every relationship in your life. See you. Bye.